Many people assume that younger women are naturally attracted to older men. In some situations, this can be true. Qualities like life experience, emotional balance, maturity, and a more organized lifestyle often give older men a noticeable edge. These are traits that younger men are still developing over time. However, the real problem is not about whether older men have advantages. The problem is that most of them do not know how to use those advantages properly. It is very common to see men in their 40s, 50s, or beyond repeating the same behavioral patterns when interacting with younger women. Unfortunately, these patterns often work against them. Instead of building attraction, they slowly destroy it. Not only does attraction fade, but respect also disappears. And once respect is gone, there is no real opportunity left to show your true personality. The truth is simple. Older men already have what they need to create meaningful connections. The issue is not a lack of value. The issue is using that value in the wrong way. The good news is that there is no need to completely change who you are. You do not need to pretend to be younger, richer, or more stylish than you really are. The key is to recognize and avoid a set of common mistakes that quietly damage your chances. Let's start with the first mistake, putting her on a pedestal. Imagine meeting a younger woman who is attractive, confident, and carries herself well. It is easy to feel a sense of pressure in that moment. Thoughts like, I must not mess this up, or she is out of my league begin to appear. As a result, behavior starts to shift. You may become overly polite, overly agreeable, and extremely cautious with your words. You begin filtering everything you say. What happens next is predictable. The interaction becomes safe, controlled, and ultimately boring. Here is the reality. Attraction does not grow when one person places the other above themselves. When you treat someone as if they are superior, you automatically lower your own presence. This creates an imbalance that signals insecurity, and insecurity quickly weakens attraction. A better approach is to see things clearly and simply. Instead of viewing her as someone special that you must impress, see her as a normal human being. She has strengths, flaws, emotions, and imperfections, just like anyone else. When you adopt this mindset, the pressure disappears. Conversations become more natural. Confidence replaces hesitation. You are not there to win her approval. You are there to explore whether there is a genuine connection between both of you. This understanding changes everything. Now, moving to the second mistake. Reacting poorly when asked about your age. A simple question like, how old are you, can create unexpected tension for many men. In that moment, their body language changes. Their tone becomes uncertain. The confidence they had just moments ago begins to fade. This reaction sends a very clear message. It suggests that age is something to be uncomfortable about. And when you treat it like an issue, the other person starts to see it the same way. The truth is, age itself is not the problem. The way you respond to it is what matters. When asked about your age, answer calmly and confidently. There is no need to hesitate, apologize, or explain too much. If humor feels natural, you can use it lightly, but the key point is to stay comfortable. Confidence makes any number feel normal. Discomfort turns it into a weakness. The third mistake is leading with money. Many older men believe that their financial success is their strongest advantage. Because of this, they often bring it into the conversation early. They talk about their business, their income, their possessions, or their lifestyle. Some even try to impress by spending money right away. But this approach creates the wrong kind of dynamic. When money becomes the focus, the interaction starts to feel transactional. Instead of building a real connection, it creates a situation where value is measured by what you provide rather than who you are. This can attract attention, but not the kind that leads to something meaningful. A more effective approach is to let your success reveal itself naturally over time. There is no need to display it immediately. Focus on your personality, your presence, and your values first. Financial success should support your identity, not replace it. Now, Let's look at the fourth mistake: acting like a mentor instead of a romantic interest. This is a subtle mistake that many men make without realizing it. They try to impress by sharing advice, offering guidance, and explaining life lessons. While these things may come from a good place, they can unintentionally shift the dynamic. When you position yourself as a teacher, you remove the sense of playfulness and excitement. The interaction becomes one sided and serious. Over time, this weakens any potential chemistry. Then, when you try to move things in a more personal or romantic direction later, it feels unnatural. It is important to set the tone early, keep the interaction light, allow room for humor, teasing, and natural energy. Your experience is valuable, but it should not dominate the conversation. Attraction grows through balance, not through constant instruction. The fifth mistake is trying too hard to appear younger. This often shows up in subtle ways. It could be using forced slang, wearing clothes that do not match your personality, or behaving in a way that does not feel natural. These efforts usually have the opposite effect. Instead of making you appear younger, they signal discomfort with your real age. True confidence comes from accepting where you are in life. There is no need to compete with younger men by copying their style or behavior. Focus on presenting the best version of yourself. Dress well in a way that suits you. Take care of your health. Speak naturally. Your experience is not something to hide, it is one of your strongest qualities. The sixth mistake involves talking too much about your achievements. Some men turn conversations into a summary of their accomplishments. They mention career highlights, past successes, and important milestones. While these things may be impressive, they do not create connection on their own. Attraction is not built through a list of achievements. It is built through shared moments, emotions, and genuine interaction. Instead of focusing on what you have done, focus on the present moment. Listen actively. Show interest in the other person. Allow the conversation to flow naturally. When confidence is real, there is no need to constantly prove your worth. Finally, the seventh mistake is neglecting physical presence. Experience and maturity are important, but they are not enough on their own. The way you present yourself still plays a major role. You do not need to look young, but you do need to look well put together. Simple things make a big difference. Clean grooming, clothes that fit properly, and basic fitness all reflect discipline and self-respect. These qualities are noticed immediately, even without words. At the core of all these mistakes is one main issue. It is the inability to fully accept and own who you are. Younger women are not searching for perfection. What draws them in is confidence, authenticity, and a sense of stability. When you stop trying to prove yourself and start embracing your identity, everything begins to change. Confidence is not something you force. It comes from being comfortable in your own skin. And when that happens, it naturally influences how others see you as well. When you truly understand these ideas, everything starts to shift in a natural way. You stop chasing approval and begin focusing on real connection. Your conversations feel more relaxed, your presence feels stronger, and people respond to you differently without you forcing anything. The key is consistency. It is not about being perfect in every interaction. It is about being aware of your behavior and making small improvements over time. The more you stay true to yourself, the more confident you become. And that confidence becomes your strongest quality. Always remember, attraction is not built on tricks or shortcuts. It grows from authenticity, self-respect, and emotional balance. When you carry yourself with clarity and purpose, you naturally stand out. So focus on becoming the best version of yourself, not a different version. That is where real change happens. If you found this helpful, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. See you in the next one.